What do you think is going to be the outcome after the United States bombed the Iranian nuclear facilities? And is Donald Trump going to be impeached because he initiated the strike? Take a look at this clip over here from Bill O'Reilly, who gives his perspective on this, goes through a little bit of the history of past presidents doing similar things. So we'll watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
Talking points memo is to run down the facts and correct the record on what happened Saturday night. And I've got a very interesting story to tell you at the end of this program about where I was and what happened. We also have Bernie Goldberg going to do a little analysis for us tonight as well. Okay. So the Iran bombing happened because Donald Trump ran out of patience. He's a transactional president. He gave the mullahs more than enough time to make a deal. They obviously were giving Trump the middle finger. Trump doesn't like that. What confused me a little bit was that he went from the White House to Bedminster, New Jersey on Friday. When he did that, I went, okay, there's not going to be anything over the weekend. Why would you do that? Go up to Jersey. And then he turned right around and went back to D.C. And I went, ooh, something happened there. And I don't know what it is. I will find out, but I don't know now. He got some intel or Israel said something, but I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to guess. We do not do that here. So the history of this is that Donald Trump pulled out of the Iranian nuclear deal, which was engineered by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Okay? That deal came together in 2015. Okay? So Obama signed it. The deal was essentially a bribe, $1.7 billion to the mullahs in cash. Those were frozen assets, and $400 million came on a plane in the middle of the night in suitcases. So what does that tell you? And in return, the mullahs said, okay, we're not going to try to get a nuclear weapon. All right. Now, when Trump took over in 2017, he charted, and I wrote a book, Killing the Killers, which you should read, all of Iran's cheating. All right. And then he blew up Soleimani, the head of the Revolutionary Guard. You know that. Right. But he got fed up. And in May 8th, 2018, he pulled out. And I'm going to read you the Trump statement a little later on. Pulled out of the nuke deal. Britain, France, and Germany stayed in. Almost immediately, the mullahs said, all right, now we're going to do what we want because nobody can stop us. Britain, France, and Germany couldn't stop them. The United States could. And then the acceleration of the uranium began in earnest. It went from 3.6% under the Obama deal, that was it, to 60% or more, according to the United Nations weapons inspectors, who were then barred from going in. Okay. So when Trump got reelected, he came in, he said to the mullahs, you got to work this out. We'll have another deal. But this deal will be fair. And from January until Saturday, that's what the Trump administration tried to do. And the mullahs go, clear they were not going to make a deal. That is the genesis of this. Okay. In the meantime, the mullahs financed Hamas. On October 7th, 2024, Hamas came over and slaughtered the Jews. Hezbollah, Houthis, all Iranian money and arms, like this. That enraged Donald Trump. And they wouldn't stop. So you got nuke enrichment, you got terrorism, you got the mullahs giving the President of the United States the middle finger. What do you think is going to happen? Now, if Kamala Harris had been elected and her own people say this, she would have done nothing because Biden didn't do a thing. Not a thing. They're weak. Trump's not weak. Was it the right thing to do? Absolutely, yes. Will it work out the way that we hope? No one knows. Okay. Now, You heard immediately from the left that Trump needs to be impeached, that he needs this, the War Powers Act. Just give you some facts. 1998, President Clinton bombs Afghanistan, trying to get the Taliban and Al-Qaeda because they blew up American embassies in Kenya and Tanzania. 1999, President Clinton bombs Kosovo. Okay? Didn't have to, no national security. And for us, just bombs them because they were slaughtering people. The Kosovans were slaughtering people. That's two. Okay? Then President Obama bombs Libya. All right? In 2011, leading to Gaddafi's overthrow and death. Hillary Clinton was the cheerleader. Democrats said not one word on any of those. Not one word. Keep that in mind. All right. Now they're screaming War Powers Act. War Powers this, War Powers that. I'm going to quote from the War Powers Act. Officially known as the War Powers Resolution, sets a limit of 60 to 90 days for military deployments initiated by the president without a formal declaration of war or explicit congressional authorization. So Trump didn't violate anything. He's got 60 to 90 days to expedite this. There it is. Oh, no. Oh, we have to bring him up and impeach him. Two morons. I'll get to that in a moment. Ocasio-Cortez and this guy Kasten. Oh, my God. But the worst is Schumer. Charles Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader. What a hypocrite. Okay? Here's what he said. Quote, "We must enforce the War Powers Act, and I'm urging Leader Thune to put it on the Senate floor immediately. I am voting for it and implore all senators on both sides of the aisle to vote for it." Chuck Schumer. Okay? Now, you got the window there. Schumer doesn't care. Wants to embarrass Trump. Here's what Schumer said, okay, in the run-up to Obama bombing Libya. Go.
"I think the president's handling it very well. Not taking a military option off the table, but being careful."
And then after the bombs dropped, Schumer didn't say anything. Supported it. What a blanking hypocrite. My God. Okay. Now, the Senate, the House Ethics Committee have got to call Congressman Sean Kasten and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. While our military people were in the air, they called for the impeachment of the commander-in-chief. Okay? They got to go up before the Ethics Committee. And I'm going to make sure that happens. So tomorrow, we're going to tell you who the chairman of the Ethics Committee is. We're going to call him. Try to get him on, but this has to go. You cannot, when you have military people actively involved in action, and you're undermining the commander-in-chief in real time, putting those people in more danger. Yeah, you could use the word treason. You never get a conviction on that. But I don't think that's an unreasonable word for these two. And they're both nuts. And I mean that literally. They are as far left as you could possibly be, sympathizing with the devil. They're wrong. All right, so within hours of the bombing, the mullahs, as I said, they've lost all face. They're trying to desperately hang on. We're going to close the Straits of Hormuz. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
The world right now is most certainly a safer place. And it is true that World War III is possibly averted because of actions like this. Other presidents, other leaders in the past didn't want to take action against Iran. The opportunity wasn't the same. There wasn't as clear and present a danger, perhaps. There were other times where other countries obtained nuclear weapons because the U.S. or other righteous nations did not act when they could have acted. And here, the United States stepped in and filled in a void and did it 1, 2, 3 in a seamless fashion, destroying all nuclear capabilities, and certainly, hopefully, beginning the process of the Ayatollahs being removed from power, not through the Americans, but through the organic activity of the Iranian people, who are by and large for the United States and what Israel and the United States have been doing. And time will tell how this will lay out. But if the Iranian people will lift themselves up and get rid of the Ayatollahs from power and go in the direction that many of them, most of them, want to go, into a Western-looking, joining the free world, joining our economic, trade, thought process, everything. If they want to join in, they will be welcome to do so. And then the Middle East is going to be significantly reshaped for the better. The dynamic in the Middle East, God willing, is going to be quite good after this. And I believe that it's only in due time that the Saudis will become part of the Abraham Accords, and we'll watch and see what happens in Iran. But now is the time for the people of Iran to rise up and amongst themselves to initiate a new dynamic amongst the world. Xi Jinping in China sees this, Vladimir Putin sees this, and knows that peace through strength is the doctrine that is being worked with. That peace does not mean pacifism. Peace does not mean non-involved in isolationism. Peace means we want peace. We're going to encourage peace. But if push comes to shove and we're pressed against the wall, the United States is not afraid to act. So God willing, there will be only good things that come from this. I do love and appreciate the fact that the first one that was thanked when President Trump gave his speech about what took place at the nuclear sites. He thanked God, says, "We love you, God," as he loves to say. We should pray to God that everything continue to go smoothly, and thank God that nobody was hurt during this mission. And may we all see very soon the day where the Middle East and the rest of the world becomes a place of peace. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.